Hi kids, and welcome to Disney Animation Reviews. I'm Josiah Milky. Let's start with some Disney history. In spring of 2004, Disney released their 45th animated feature film, Home on the Range, which ultimately, for the time being, ended up being their last traditionally hand-drawn animated feature after it got mixed reviews and didn't do so good at the box office. If you saw my review of that film, you know why. The rest of 2004 was largely live-action Disney feature films like The Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement, starring the returning duo of Julie Andrews and Anne Hathaway, and National Treasure, starring Nicolas Cage. But they also had the direct-to-DVD animated Disney Toon film Mickey, Donald, and Goofy and the Three Musketeers in the summer of 2004, which actually is a pretty cute film. And then for fall of 2004, they had Disney and Pixar's feature film The Incredibles, which is one of the best Pixar films ever. It was a big box office success. Didn't quite surpass Finding Nemo, but it did really good for what it was worth. It got really good reviews and won 2 Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature and Best Sound Editing, making it the first Pixar movie to win more than 1 Oscar. In 2005, Disney had a whole battalion of stuff. There was the Disney Toon Studios film Pooh's Heffalump movie, released in February. Decently good reviews, decently well at the box office. There was the premiere of the Disney Channel animated series American Dragon Jake Lund, and the Disney Channel live-action series The Suite Life of Zack and Cody. Suite Life is one of my favorites. More live-action Disney feature films like Ice Princess, Herbie Fully Loaded, and Sky High. The celebration of the 50th anniversary of Disneyland. The computer-animated Disney feature film Valiant, and the premiere of the Disney Channel original movie, Kim Possible Movie, Sell the Drama. The topic of today's review is Disney's 46th animated feature film, Chicken Little, which was also the first computer-animated Disney feature film without the assistance of Pixar. The original version of Chicken Little was about a girl, Chicken Little, who went to summer camp because she had an overactive imagination and was sent there to build confidence in herself, but discovered her camp counselor, voiced by Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller, was going to plot against her hometown, and it was up to her to save the day. This Chicken Little was going to be voiced by Holly Hunter, who had voiced Elastigirl in The Incredibles. About a year and a half into production, Michael Eisner said that Chicken Little should be a boy, and because if you're small and you get picked on, that's a bigger problem for a boy than a girl. And so Chicken Little got redone into a boy. Chicken Little was directed by Mark Dendle and produced by Randy Fulmer, the same guys that had just done The Emperor's New Groove 5 years before Chicken Little the movie actually came out. But while Emperor's New Groove is very funny, Chicken Little, I think, is Disney trying too hard, or at least that's from what I've read online. Released to theaters for early November 2005, it was a box office success, bringing in about $314 million worldwide, which was good because that's what Disney needed in feature animation after a string of box office 2D animated flops, most notably Treasure Planet and Home on the Range. But while Chicken Little did really well at the box office, placing second in the top 3 highest grossing animated features of the year, between Blue Sky's Robots at number 3 and DreamWorks' Madagascar at number 1, Chicken Little unfortunately also didn't get the best reviews ever. It only holds 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, the lowest Rotten Tomatoes score for an animated Disney feature in the canon. But is Chicken Little really that bad? I don't think so. I quite liked it when I was a kid. I saw it when I was 10 or 11, and I still have some respect for it. I agree it's not the best film. It would probably fall closer to the bottom, but I wouldn't put it bottom like most other people would. If you saw my Home on the Range review, you know that Home on the Range is what I would put at the way bottom. But I think Chicken Little does have some merits, so I'll give my thoughts on Chicken Little, and I'll try to explain why I like it. So if you know the Chicken Little story, it's Chicken Little gets hit on the head with an acorn, he thinks it's a piece of the sky, he creates panic throughout his little town of Okie Oaks, saying the sky is falling, and when his dad, Buck Cluck, finds the acorn and believes that's what Chicken Little hit him, Chicken Little becomes a laughingstock because he thought the sky fell. A year later, no one seems to have forgotten Chicken Little's mistake, and it's on everything from a website to books to commemorative plates, and now they're making a movie about it. Like, what on earth? Anyway, Chicken Little's determined to live down this reputation once and for all, and while his dad tells him he should basically just disappear, Chicken Little wants to take a more action-oriented approach. A friend of his, Abby Mallard, the ugly duckling, who they call her that based on her looks, she thinks Chicken Little should just talk with his dad about the ordeal, but Chicken Little decides to join the baseball team, since his dad was a baseball star back in high school. Chicken Little joins the team, but ends up sitting on the bench all season until the final game, where he's finally called in to bat. Against all odds, he wins his team a home run, thus winning them the game, and at less than a half an hour in, Chicken Little seems to have resolved problems with his dad. But then, something else falls on Chicken Little's head, and it's not a piece of the sky or an acorn. As Chicken Little and his friends discover, it's a cloaking panel that can dissolve into its backgrounds. Chicken Little and his friends check it out, and when Chicken Little's friend, the aptly named Fish Out of Water, literally because he's a fish who lives on land and wears a scuba helmet full of water, and he doesn't talk, he just gurgles and blobs, but Chicken Little and his friends can understand what he's saying. He presses a button on the back of it and goes flying off, and Chicken Little, Abby, and the neurotic, huge pig, goofingly called Runt of the Litter, even though he's like the size of a garbage truck, they discover the panel belongs to an alien spaceship, and they believe that aliens are invading Earth after they save fish. From there, when a little alien kid is left behind, a la E.T., Chicken Little and his friends have to get him back home, and Chicken Little has to put things aside with his dad once and for all. When I saw Chicken Little, I thought it was pretty cute. I still have a certain respect for it. I'll start with a few things Chicken Little gets right. First of all, they have celebrity voice casting, which is a trap that DreamWorks Animation often falls into, but they don't design the characters to look like their voice actors, like DreamWorks has been known for doing on films like Shark Tale. The actors don't do it for celebrity status, but they're just trying to make the characters the best as they can be. And the celebrity cast is actually, I think, really good. You have Zach Braff from TV's Scrubs as Chicken Little, because he could talk faster than anybody the filmmakers heard. The late Princess Diaries director Gary Marshall voices Buck Cluck, because they felt Gary Marshall is really good at angst. Amy Sedaris is the town bully, Foxy Loxy. Amy can read just about any line. Steve Zahn just nails it as Runt of the Litter. He is absolutely hilarious. Joan Cusack, Jessie the Cowgirl doll in the Toy Story films, is Abby. Joan is really good at reading stuff that's emotional and sincere. And then you've got other celebrities doing other voices in the film. You have Don Knotts as Mayor Turkey Lurkey, and as the alien parents, you have Fred Willard and Catherine O'Hara. There are other celebrities too, but it would take forever for me to name them all. What's also interesting is they also have some of the filmmakers doing voice talent in this movie. Mark Tyndall not only directed the film, but he's also the voices of Morcubine Porcupine, one of the cool kids at school, and the coach, and then Dan Molina, the editor, is the voice of Fish. Something else that Chicken Little gets right, I think, is the computer animation. Computer animation had come a long way in the 10 years since Toy Story, and while some complain it's not as good as Pixar animation, I actually think it's a pretty strong effort for a first effort from Disney, but not Pixar, that's CG. The feathers on Chicken Little were all animated individually on the computer, and it looks fantastic. Okay, now for the bad stuff. First off, the movie can't decide where it wants to go. The basic story is a struggling father-son relationship, which can work if it's done well, like in a Goofy movie or Finding Nemo, but in Chicken Little, it feels padded on, and it feels like they were just more focused on the comedy and the animation than they were on an emotional storyline, so that kind of hurts the film a bit, the relationship between Chicken Little and Buck. The story can't decide where it wants to go. You know, it starts out when Chicken Little joins the baseball team, it becomes a sports drama. But then the last half of the film with the alien invasion / rescue, it becomes, well, your typical invaders from Mars story. Also, another weird thing is, this might float over some kids' heads, but at the beginning, at the movie theater, they're watching the first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark, even though there are no humans in this world. So why would they be watching a movie about humans if there are no humans in this world? Anyway. The soundtrack is pretty good. DreamWorks Animation has been known for taking pop songs and putting them in a film to give it a pop feel. I think my favorite song is probably the one original song, One Little Slip, performed by the band Barenaked Ladies. There's a name you don't hear more than once. And then there are classic songs performed by the likes of Diana Ross, John Ondrasik of Five for Fighting, Patti LaBelle and Joss Stone, and the Cheetah Girls for the Disney Channel enthusiasts, among others. There are also instances where Chicken Little and the characters in the movie sing, but the film is not a musical. They just occasionally break out in the song. So, I won't call Chicken Little the worst animated Disney feature film ever like most other people would, but I won't call it the best one either. The animation is fine, the voice acting is great, and the music can be dealt with, but the story and characters might be a little hard to swallow. Maybe rent Chicken Little at first, then decide if you want to buy it or not, but if you're not a big fan of it, I understand. It's just, I like it, but everybody has their own opinion, so maybe give Chicken Little a rental to start. Released on DVD spring 2006, and on Blu-ray spring 2007, the little lightweight on bonus features compared to 2-disc versions of films we've been talking about, like Lilo and Stitch and Brother Bear. Chicken Little does have some decent bonus features. There's deleted scenes, including 3 alternate openings, music videos from the Cheetah Girls and Barenaked Ladies, a trivia game called Where's Fish, an 18-minute behind-the-scenes feature on the making of the film, and a One Little Slip karaoke sing-along. One Little Slip is the song the Barenaked Ladies sang. And the Blu-ray comes with more deleted scenes, an audio commentary, a Space Invaders type game for the kids, and a question and answer session, where you can watch the movie and ask questions about it, and the filmmakers will answer the questions for you while you watch the movie. So that's my thoughts on Chicken Little. It's definitely not the best animated Disney feature ever, but it's also not the worst animated Disney feature ever like most people say. I think films like Home on the Range will probably be lower than Chicken Little on my overall ranking of all the animated Disney features. But if you haven't seen Chicken Little yet, maybe rent it first for the kids, and then go from there. Well, we're out of time for today. So remember, kids, when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Goodbye!